Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Gemini, tonight we have the Three of Discs, which has everything to do with work. Hopefully going in the right direction, right? Okay, let's see. All right, so let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. I'm just gonna let some of this tea go. So we have a salamander right here. And let me also just finish my little thing at the beginning. If you want to like the video, if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Okay, I'm done now. All right, so we have a little salamander or a lizard right here. So I know that we're dealing with fire energy. The lizard, the salamander technically is kind of the animal representation of the fire element. It is called an elemental, right? If you look up the salamander and as an elemental, you will see pictures in chemical texts and other, lithographs and engravings of salamanders kind of turning the wheel that is keeping the fire going. So when we see this, we know, okay, there is some passion, there is life, there is that creative energy flowing, which is a wonderful thing to see, right? When we're lacking that kind of flame that we might need to keep us, if you're like me, I need it to keep me motivated, to keep me going. I'm not the best at pushing myself to do things that, they just, it doesn't feel like much of anything, or it's just, tedious or just terrible, just terrible work. It doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere with it. It's serving no purpose in my life except for to maybe make money or whatever. But when we have that flame, when we have that lizard right up there in the mix, right? Keeping those flames going, keeping our passion ignited, then yeah, even doing laundry and scrubbing toilets and, whatever it is, sitting and using a computer all day or whatever, it doesn't feel as bad because we have some kind of, attachment. Now, if I am cleaning the house, right, and being of service to not only myself, but to my family, that feels meaningful, even if it's not what I want to be doing, right? So I see that you are in a place in your life where you are finding reasons, right? And this is wonderful. Finding reasons to enjoy what you're doing, to discover some meaning in it all, right? Or at least like making the best of some of the more difficult, boring, whatever situations you might find yourself in. I see you really putting that time to use. Okay, now we also have the star right up here. You can see it's kind of a 5-pointed star, and the star really represents goals, right? The star card, I always say this in every reading. You've probably heard it if you've watched my other readings. Anytime a star comes up or we get the star card, I like to think of it as going outside late at night, looking up at the sky, and daring to dream, right? Wishing upon a star that things might align in such a way that you are able to, get to those goals, right? Make it happen for yourself. And so seeing this passionate, vibrant activation that is going on with you, I really feel like this is a time where you are not only feeling motivated, but you're really seeing the output of the work you're doing. It's not like the beginning, I'm starting this job, I'm going to work really hard, you're making all these promises to yourself. No, you have been in there. You've been in the trenches. You've been doing the thing. You have been, evolving even the position that you're in, right? You are becoming somebody who, really has such a involved understanding of your skill set. It's not like you just read a book and you're like, okay, I'm going to do the thing. I have no functional experience or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? We all have to start somewhere. But I think that you are somebody who has really, really put your heart, your mind, your soul into the work that you're doing. Okay, so I imagine that you probably have been with it for a while. Okay, unless you're just some kind of genius and you just got it, like snap of the fingers, I know what I'm doing. As my, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Well, maybe, does Peppa Pig say it? Maybe. I know my husband says it sometimes because my daughter loves Peppa Pig. But not bloody likely. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not. I don't know how bad of a phrase that is. What it would be compared to. But yeah, that's right. Let me get a drink here. And as you can probably tell from my voice, and just, even if you watch my husband's videos over at Dove and Serpent Tarot, my husband Paul, he's amazing. Go check him out. We're sick. We have gotten sick twice now since school started. It's only the beginning of October. So, but thankfully this one is just kind of, it feels like a cold maybe. All right, so we have a person standing here, and it looks like maybe uttering something. And I'm trying to look. Because we also have, it looks like the bow and arrow and the moon, which immediately made me think of Diana, okay, the goddess, or Artemis, Diana, the huntress, also a lunar goddess, okay. And I wanted to look at her up here too. I kind of turned it. So we have that lady over there, or that person. We have the bow and arrow. We have the moon. Now we also have this person up here who reminds me very much of not only the moon, but maybe kind of a Medusa type character, which, we might think of Medusa and we're like, ugh, this scary lady with the snakes and stuff. If you go back and read her mythology, she is actually a very, you would have so much empathy for her, right? She's a very sympathetic character. Now, does she kind of turn into, depending on the depiction and who's telling the story, she might be kind of a monster, when she's turned into a Gorgon, and she might be kind of mean and vicious. But her origin is that she was abused, right? And we see this a lot in the Greek and Roman mythologies, right? These kinds of stories where the gods and goddesses, they take advantage of, especially women, right? And I'm trying to be careful about how I say this. And unconsensually. There's no consent, right? Or the consent, the power dynamic, and whatever. Well, you know, obviously it's something that you kind of cringe, right? When you read the stories and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like wild, you know? I don't know. But yes, Medusa is a sympathetic character archetype consciousness, okay? She's somebody who, you know, basically she was taken advantage of. Wifey found out. Wifey got mad. She turned her into a monster. And, yeah, so it's kind of a sad story. So when I see her, I think of somebody who maybe is kind of an oppressive energy in your life, or somebody that you know, or it could even kind of be yourself, somebody who might be quick to anger, somebody who is isolating themselves, somebody who feels alienated, somebody who has probably some pretty serious trauma, right? And they have developed this maybe kind of brash and harsh personality to keep themselves safe, okay? Now, I'm looking up here, and it looks like she's holding, and immediately I thought she's holding a heart. I mean, that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go with she's holding the heart, right? And you can see the face, you can see the eye. There's a 6 on top of her head, but it kind of does look like a snake. And I want to go back over here. So we have this person over here, and so I almost feel like this is the Medusa character is maybe somebody like a friend, a sister, maybe even a brother, somebody in your peer group or close to, right? Close in age. I think you know them well. You have an established relationship with them, connection. You share your life with them usually. But I think because they are very sensitive about things that you almost feel like you have to hide aspects of your life, especially the good. And I almost wonder if there's some kind of love connection for you. Maybe this is a new relationship. Maybe this is one that's getting more serious. Maybe it's even you are married, right? But you've had some, you know, maybe hard years together. But I think that things are getting really good, right? I feel like you are pretty dang happy. You're doing well with your work. I feel like your life is coming together. You look around and you see, okay, look at this. I'm like meeting my goals. I'm able to afford some of the things that I've dreamt of doing. I'm getting closer to feeling a little bit secure in my life. And yeah, it just overall makes you feel pretty dang good. Maybe not always joyful and ecstatic, but at ease, right? And so I feel that you're worried. You're worried about how this person is going to feel. And I wonder if you have hidden some, and I don't think it's malicious. I think it's because you care, right? And I don't think you're lying to them, but I think you do omit things, okay? Or you minimize things, right? Oh, that wasn't a big deal, or yeah, no, I totally forgot about that. I was going to tell you and then things got busy and I forgot. No, you just don't want to like rub it in their face, right? And here's the deal though. I feel like if they find out, or if they have found out some of the stuff you got going on, good things, right? It is going to end up being kind of a mess. Let me just say that. It's going to be a mess. I can just imagine this person, well, first of all, making it all about them, right? You already know that. But it's going to be this big betrayal, right? You didn't tell me, you're hiding it from me, you this, you that, I can't believe you did this to me, that kind of, you know, which makes me think it might be like a sister. I'm only laughing because only a sister can really be the, like, just absolutely, what should I, how do I say it? Just absolutely out of pocket, right? Emotional, jealous, not even trying to hide it. And we still love them. And let me just say, my sister's not like that. My sister, she does watch the channel sometimes. She would not like me saying that. She's not the one. I'm the one that's more jealous. I'm the sister you have to put up with. So, but it is. It's only really like a sister or a really good friend or like a cousin or somebody. I mean, you got to be tight, right? But I do feel it could become something, you know, quite messy. Now, I also see we have the Empress up here. This leads me to believe that maybe it's important for you to seek advice, some kind of guidance from maybe your mother, okay? Go see your mom if she's around, or a mother figure, or somebody who knows the situation but won't necessarily get super involved, okay? Because I think that you're going to need a mediator, and also just like somebody to kind of like talk to that you trust their like ability to measure not only their behavior and how they're taking it, and you know, is it over the top, does it make sense, you know, but also for you as well. Because sometimes, you know, and I don't know about you, Gemini, but for me, sometimes I think I am so, yeah, I'm right. I'm totally validated in how I feel. And then I find out there's like, I have barely any of the information. I just jumped to a conclusion there. I just got real upset for no reason, you know, or, you know, and I have shared this before. Both my husband and I are neurodivergent, and we have to check in with each other sometimes with how we talk to people. Not because neither of us are rude. I don't think, although if anybody's rude, it would be me. He's a sweetheart, but yeah, sometimes we got to check in with each other. I need somebody I can trust to tell me like, yo, pump the brakes, mama. You know, like you're too upset about that. Or yeah, when you talk to that person, you were kind of short. Maybe, you know, soften it up a little bit, or, you know, whatever. You need somebody sometimes to check in with, to really kind of see like, okay. And it's good to have, yes, like a mom figure, maybe another sibling who knows the situation, a good friend, whoever it is, okay? But also maybe somebody who could mediate or kind of at least be a go-between. Now, we also have the fish up here. So money, I'm just really, really, did I say Aquarius earlier? Now I'm thinking I said Aquarius. I don't know why. I don't think I did. Maybe I said, it's a Gemini reading. I know, sometimes they like will switch it between the, like, during the reading, and people will be like, what is this reading for? It is Gemini. Okay, it is Gemini. Hopefully I didn't say Aquarius. I don't know. Anyways, we have the fish. We have money. And it really does. It feels like money is going to be pretty dang good coming up. We have a 6 again. So the number 6 seems important. We also have, it looks like J-O. So I'm thinking that maybe there's like a John or a Joe or a Joseph or Josephine or somebody with the name Joe. Okay, so we have the turtle. We have the turtle, and it looks like we have almost kind of a bag of money over there. So I feel like it, okay, this one also says LA. I feel like at times you maybe can be a little bit impatient, right? You just want this thing. I'm going to do this job. I want it to take right off. I'm going to, make $1 million right off the bat. And like, yeah, of course we all feel that way. But I feel like this endeavor, this work you're doing, this career that you have, maybe it's a side job, maybe you started a business, whatever it is, it's going to take time. You already knew that. But it's going to end up really getting some traction. And I feel like it really will kind of all come together and be way more lucrative than you imagined, right? Like coming into this, I don't know that you thought you would be making a ton of money, but it was something that you loved, something that you've cared about for a long time. And probably have been doing similar work or maybe the same job, even for years. And maybe it is. Maybe you worked for somebody else and then you decided, well, I'm going to, open up my own shop or my own practice or, whatever. And I imagine that, well, of course, that's a scary step. That's a big step and it's scary. But I do think that at this point in your life, it just feels like, why do I want to keep working for somebody else, right? I want to do my own thing. I want to be like my own boss. And I feel like that is, or at least like working in a job where there's not a ton of oversight. And I'm just thinking, because my daughter, she's only 4, she's not working yet, but she's a Gemini. And I feel like the thing with Geminis is when you try to contain them and micromanage them, and I'm not saying that like you'll go out of your way to like sabotage something, but you don't take kindly to somebody standing over your shoulder and telling you what you need to do. You're good at what you do. And so, yeah, I could see how a Gemini having their own thing, doing it their own way, absolutely just in the flow of things, producing, and innovating. And yeah, just, I feel like there's so much output when you're not being, somebody's trying to keep you under their thumb, which is impossible to do with a Gemini. Who would even begin to think to try to, control you? So let's take a look. We're going to see what the next few days are going to be like. I'm just going to flip through. We're going to do about 3 of them. impulsiveness, birth. Okay, so this is about your sibling or your friend. You've known them your whole life. Okay, they're impulsive, they're egotistical. Okay, we already know. I'm not trying to be rude about your family. But we have been talking about it already. So decision, restlessness, and the last one, coral. Okay, so I feel like for you, it's kind of like making the decision, you know, maybe to just put your energies into the work and not paying much mind to all of that squabble. Although, you know, I feel like you are somebody who you don't want to have the conflict. Of course, you're very sensitive. You're very emotional. And I think it's heartbreaking for you to be in a place where things aren't just totally cool. So I could see where you would really want to try to find some way to just come to, you know, some kind of understanding. And if it is the case that, you know, whatever it is that you've been kind of smoothing over or kind of omitting, if they don't know about it yet, maybe it would be worth trying to think of a way to let them know that doesn't set them off, right? Get ahead of it, right? Do it first, right? Before they find out from somebody else. Okay, here we go. We're going to do 3 lucky numbers. We have number 3, number 30. We have 3, 30. If we get like 33 or something, I'm gonna laugh. I don't know. 21. So close. 21 is the last lucky number. Okay, and then we're also going to go ahead. We're going to do our inner child oracle cards. And I'm just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. This is just kind of to emphasize, to punctuate the reading, right? Something to leave the reading with, you know, I don't know, something to think about. Okay, so we have number 32, set boundaries. Claim your power and know your value today. And yes, look at that. It even has two people standing. I mean, I don't know that they're women necessarily. This is what my husband and I would look like. We both have super long hair. And then there'd be a third one with my daughter, of course. Her hair is super long too. So it could easily be. But it does remind me of 2 sisters. Okay. So I like that. All right. So Gemini, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And yeah, if you want to leave a comment, go ahead. I read them all. And that's it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. Good night.